Here is exactly how the CompTIA Network Plus exam works and how to pass it in about 5 minutes. By the end, you will know the format, the score you actually need, where every point is hidden, and the one thing to check before you book, which, in 2026, is not obvious. Network Plus is written by CompTIA, and it is vendor-neutral. It tests networking itself, not one company's equipment. That is the whole point of it. It sits one step above a plus, and it is the certification most employers read as proof you can actually run a network. You sit it at a Pearson VUE test center or online from home with a remote proctor watching through your webcam. The format? A maximum of 90 questions in 90 minutes. Most are multiple choice, but some are performance-based. A simulated task where you configure or diagnose something rather than pick a letter. Those take longer, so they are usually front-loaded. If you meet a hard one early, flag it and move on. Do not let a single simulation eat a quarter of your clock. Now the passing score, and this is where candidates miscalculate. You need 720 on a scale that runs from 100 to 900. That is a scaled score, not a percentage. 720 out of 900 looks like 80%, but it is not. The scale does not start at 0, and questions are not all worth the same. You cannot count how many you got right and work out whether you passed, so do not try. Eligibility is refreshingly simple. There is no formal prerequisite. Anyone can book it. CompTIA recommends the A+ certification, plus 9 to 12 months of hands-on experience in a junior network administrator or network support role, but nobody checks. Once you pass, the certification is good for 3 years, and you renew it with continuing education credits rather than by sitting the exam again. So where are the points? CompTIA publishes the exact weighting across 5 domains, and the shape of it surprises most people. Troubleshooting is the biggest single domain. Networking concepts is a close second. Implementation and operations sit in the middle, and security, the domain everyone expects to dominate an IT exam, is the smallest of the 5. Put the top 2 together, and troubleshooting plus concepts is nearly half your score. Security, the domain most people overprepare, is the smallest of the 5. Weight your hours accordingly. And that weighting is really one instruction. The largest domain on a networking certification is not the technology, it is diagnosis. So when you study a protocol, do not stop at what it does. Ask what it looks like when it breaks, and which tool would show you that. Every domain here has a troubleshooting face, and that is the face you will see most often. And now the thing to check before you book, because this is a live issue right now. The exam you sit today is N10-009, which launched in June 2024. But CompTIA has already published draft objectives for the next version, Network Plus V10. Draft means not live yet. N10-009 is still the current exam. What it does mean is that study material bought a year from now may or may not match the exam you registered for. So when you book, read the exam code on your registration and make sure your practice material matches that code. Check the code, not the year on the cover. Let us look at 3 real questions so you can see the style. First, troubleshooting. A workstation has no link light and the switch reports the port as disabled. What does that mean? The answer: the switch itself shut that port down after a violation, port security, BPDU guard, or repeated flapping. And here is the part that matters. You must fix the underlying cause first. Simply re-enabling the port just disables it again. Second, protocols. Hosts on a remote VLAN are self-assigning link local addresses, while hosts on the same as the DHCP server lease normally. What fixes it? A DHCP relay agent and IP helper on the remote VLAN's gateway interface. Why? A DHCP discover is a broadcast, and routers do not forward broadcasts between. The relay agent catches that broadcast and forwards it as a unicast to the server. Notice the shape of that question. It hands you a symptom and expects you to name the mechanism. Third, operations. At what point must a documented rollback plan exist for a firmware upgrade on a core switch? Before implementation, as part of the approved change request, together with a current configuration backup. Not after it fails. Once a change has taken down a production service, you have no time to design a recovery path, and the saved configuration may no longer be reachable from the failed device. This exam tests process, not only technology. So how do you prepare? 4 things. 1. Drill practice questions until the reasoning is automatic and push well past 720 before you book. You want margin, not a coin flip. 2. Master the confusable pairs on screen here because most wrong answers are a real term used in the wrong place. 3. Track every miss by domain and give your extra hours to troubleshooting and concepts. 4. Watch the clock through the simulations and read each scenario to the end. That one is a habit, not knowledge. So remember, 90 questions, 90 minutes, and 720 on a 100 to 900 scale, which is not a percentage. No prerequisite to book, and the certification lasts 3 years. Troubleshooting is the largest domain, and security is the smallest. Study faults, not just facts. And check the exam code on your registration before you buy a single practice book. Practice this on real questions, free at .com/en/network-plus. Concepts, addressing, protocols, operations, security, and troubleshooting in English, Chinese, and Spanish with no sign-up.